Bangalore Urban Information System, a decision support system, is developed by Energy and Wetland Research Group at Indian Institute of Science. This decision support system has been developed to help the decision makers in taking the appropriate decision towards the prudent management of natural resources in the city. We have used the remote sensing data that is available from 1973 onwards to understand the urban dynamics in Bangalore. The city of Bangalore, which is about 740 square kilometer today, had about the 68% green cover way back in 1970s. In 91, we noticed the transition of the greenery to the urban the landscape with the industrialization happening at Peenya and Koramangala. In 96, it further intensified, and the 2001, because of the IT/BT sectors getting into the Bangalore, the outskirts of Bangalore city, the erstwhile Bangalore city, saw the transition from the rural landscape to the urban landscape. Today there has been a 1078% increase in the concrete area. We have lost 88% vegetation cover and 79% of the water bodies. The water bodies, which were about 756 in way back in 1973, has come down to 216 water bodies. Out of the 216 water bodies, we have monitored 193 water bodies. Our study shows that 92% of the water bodies are sewage fed. That means untreated or partially treated, the domestic sewage water is entering the lake, and also the industrial effluents are entering the lake, while the 98% of the lakes are encroached. In fact, in this portal, we have also provided the details of the encroachment, and not only that, it also gives the solution for the water crisis in the city, how to have the sustainable solution in the city. Our proportion is to do the rainwater harvesting. In the city, if we do the rainwater harvesting, we get a 15 TMC of rainwater, and the best option to do the rainwater harvesting is through the lake. For that, we need to rejuvenate the lake and retain the rainwater in the lake. When we retain the rainwater in the lake, there would be the groundwater recharge would happen, as it happened in the Saraki lake when it was rejuvenated about 3 years back. The groundwater table went up by 300 feet, and now the Bellandur and Vartu lake is being rejuvenated. We hope that the government of Karnataka will take up the initiative to do the greening in the buffer zone, so that we can retain the water in the lake, as well as the groundwater recharge happening in the system without any pollutant entering the lake, as the green buffer will help in remediation, so that if there are any surface runoff, we can control the surface runoff through the riparian vegetation. So to summarize, the Bangalore Urban Information System, or BUIS, which has been developed, is available at the Indian Institute of Science website. The portal is wgbis.ces.iisc.ac.in. Similarly, in the Google Play Store, we have developed the mobile app BUIS, which can be downloaded by any public. You can visualize what is the kind of the growth happening in the city. Our study shows that there has been an unrealistic, irresponsible transition of the green space to the paved surface has happened over a period of last 5 decades. The transition of the porous landscape to the paved surface clearly shows that our planning process, the absence of the water urbanism. To sustain the water in any urban landscape, we need to maintain the minimum the porous landscape through the provision of the greeneries and also the water body. The city of Bangalore, in the city of Bangalore today, we have about 1.5 million trees for a population of 9.5 million. That means for every 7 person, there is only one tree. Now, when you look at the number of people who reside in the city, when they breathe, they give out a carbon dioxide to an extent of 540 gram to 980 gram per person per day. And 1 hectare of tree cover will remove the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere to an extent of about 6 to 9 tons per year. By that ratio, the city of Bangalore should have had for every person 7 or 8 trees. But what we have today is 7 person, 1 tree. which shows that there is oxygen deficiency in the city. And we have seen that some of the senior citizens in the city and also the middlemen, the mid-aged, the citizens of the city using the oxygen cylinders. Not only the city is deprived of the oxygen, there is also severe water scarcity. That is mainly because the city requires 18 TMC of water, and 40% of the water comes from the groundwater sources, while the remaining 60% come from the river Kaveri. Because of the climate changes in the climate, there has been erratic rainfall last year in the Kaveri basin. Because of the erratic rainfall, we didn't get enough water from the Kaveri, and the problem is aggravated by the groundwater, the absence of the decline of groundwater table in the city. The city groundwater table has declined drastically, mainly because there is no groundwater recharge happens when the city landscape is covered with the concrete surface to an extent of about 86 to 88%. And coupled with that, there is a over exploitation for the construction activity as well as the industrial activities. We have been advising the government to ban the use of or they restrict the use of groundwater for the construction activities and the industries, and we need to make the industries and also the construction sector to use the treated water. You know, the treated wastewater would be the viable solution to meet the water scarcity in the city. The city of Bangalore generate 18 TMC of wastewater. If we can treat that wastewater based on the nature-based principle as it has been done at Jakkur Lake way back in 2010 using constructed wetland and algal pond, we get the tertiary treated water which can be used for the construction activities and also for filling the lake. When we fill that treated water, tertiary treated water through the nature-based solution, we are also not contaminating the lake. In the process, the groundwater recharge will happen, so that the city landscape will have the enough water for the citizens, and no one will be deprived of the water. To make the city the surplus with the water of 31 TMC, we need to do the groundwater recharge. For that, the pairs of the surfaces has to be brought to the control, and that is where we need to have the landscape to be more porous with the green cover as well as the rejuvenation of the lake. If we can plan to have a mini forest of 2 hectares area in each of the ward, we would also be addressing the problem of the groundwater as well as the temperature that happened in the last year. The city of Bangalore faced the severe water crisis because of the groundwater table decline as well as the heat wave in the city because of the paired surfaces. Now, if we want to mitigate this kind of unfortunate instances of the heat wave or the water scarcity, we need to make the landscape porous. I would advise the government to have the mini forest area of at least 2 hectares area in each ward, as we have done at Indian Institute of Science. We have created a mini forest in 2 hectares area way back in 19 with a 49 native species. About 500 saplings were planted way back in 90 in the region which was infested with Parthenium. Today, after 3.5 decades, you will not see the Parthenium in the region, but you get a feel of the rainforest, and more importantly, the groundwater, which was 150 feet in 90, today we have the water at 10 feet. And also because of the greenery and also the water availability, the diversity of animals have increased. We have the large population of the birds and butterflies in the region, and also the 4 families of the slender lories are residing in our mini forest. And this is the model to be replicated in each ward to make the city the resilient to the climate or a sustainable city. That means each ward in the city should have a mini forest, and also the lakes which are there in the ward should be rejuvenated so that we can retain the rainwater. And today we have about 216 water bodies or the lakes in the city, and if we can rejuvenate this lake in a 198 ward, we have enough water, and no one would be deprived of the water, and there won't be any water scarcity. The vision of the Bangalore is to have a adequate and clean water and the clean environment for everyone. That is what the Article 21 of the Indian Constitution stipulates. So let us make the city livable by having the greeneries as well as by the rejuvenating the lake, so that we can catch the rainwater in the lake, so that our children will have enough water.